This is Snake. Can you hear me? Good. The mission is simple. Put your geek pants on and infiltrate Foxhound. If you need backup, contact Ken and Chris on their codec frequency. Ready? Snake out.
Wait, do you have to wear the headphones the entire time?
Well, I should probably just, I don't have to. But, I can take them off. You want me to take them off? I'll take them off.
I was just asking a question.
Halfway through, we lose our audio.
I was just asking a question. That's all. You didn't
have
want
me to.
I don't even know if I want to do this Camcast right now.
I feel like you don't like looking at the right side of my head right now.
I'm feeling a little attacked right now.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little attacked.
Chris,
so,
I'm sorry.
Would you like me to retire you?
No, please don't.
I won't, unless you're a replicant, in which case, then I will. Cells. Interlinked.
That would have been a perfect moment for you, like you're doing your big dialogue there from Blade Runner, and I just pull up a bag of nachos.
That actually would.
That would have been good.
That would have been really good.
I don't have nachos.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be able to see you because you've mastered the art of being invisible.
You know what? I'll take this off.
No, leave it on.
No.
I understand why you're wearing it.
It's also the fact that it's making my ear really sweaty.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But wouldn't that also help too?
This tells me we're recording something.
Okay, so it doesn't tell you that we're recording audio.
Okay, no, I think we're good.
Okay, all right.
Something's got to get some audio.
So I guess congratulations are in order.
To us.
To the Geek Pants Camcast for making it to
this channel and this show.
And to us, and for you, all 76 of you, for making it to episode 50.
I like saying issue, though. I kind of feel
issue kind of feels nice. It feels right.
When a comic made it to a 50th episode.
It was a big deal.
It was a big deal. You got some kind of die-cut cover or hollow foil cover.
It was like triple-sized, It actually was like a big deal, And you were excited because that meant that your favorite guy was still going to be, saving
exactly
or whatever.
So to make this special, I'm going to tint the whole video to gold, and we're going to charge you to watch it.
All right, sweet deal.
Yeah.
Except for me, right?
Yeah, you can watch it for free.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Send me the code.
The code. That was a joke.
But yeah, so like as promised, this is issue 50, and as promised, we're going to be doing Blade Runner. We're going to be doing NACHO LIBRE, and we're going to round out that sandwich with Blade Runner 2049.
Ah, the sandwich.
It's been an ongoing reference.
It's a strange sandwich. It has been an ongoing reference.
Yeah. But it's good, though. I'm enjoying it. I gotta say, it's a pretty good sandwich, too.
I think we should always have a sandwich in our videos.
No.
No?
Nope.
Oh.
Because, you're going to obsess over which sandwich to inject and where to put it. And then every episode, you're going to be like, well, where did I put it last time? And eventually, it's going to get to the point where you're going to be like, Chris, I don't want to put a fucking sandwich in every episode. And then I'll go, first of all, it's issue. And second of all, I never said put a sandwich in there. And then you're like, it was all me. I did this. I obsessed about this. And here we are.
You're right. And we're not going to be able to make everyone happy.
And I'm already stressed for you.
If we put a nice big bologna sandwich out here, vegans won't be happy with us. If we put peanut butter and jam out, the gluten-free people won't be happy with us.
Yeah. Although you would have a not assortment of gluten-free stuff, right?
I would have all kinds of weird shit. I can't have pork.
Is it weird shit?
Yeah, it's weird shit.
Is it? Or is it just gluten-free and it's only weird because some people aren't gluten-free?
It's gluten-free.
It's weird shit. Okay.
It's
all right. So I guess
it's tasty and dry as shit.
To start things off, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
On the 50th issue.
Thank you to our 2 watchers/listeners who voted these topics.
It's big fat thank you for you guys.
Yeah.
Also, just thanks in general for everything. The occasional comments from time to time. So thank you for that. Also, thank you for not correcting us whenever either one of us has made blatant errors in continuity, which has happened.
Or just typical speech pronouncing.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't talk very often, yet here I am doing a podcast.
Yep, exactly. So,
though I don't think I've really drooled much, which is amazing considering my family does that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
No, this is awesome though, because What's it been? 2 years now.
It's been
almost
2 years.
We're 1 month away from 2 years of doing this.
Exactly. 1 month away from 2 years of doing this.
Yeah.
And
October 2017, we started at Calico Coffee House.
So I guess in October we'll have to do another celebration because we've been doing this for 2 years.
Right. We'll go full on Marvel.
Yeah.
We'll have a big 50th issue. Make it go like, yeah, they hit the milestone. Then we'll reboot it.
And we'll reboot it.
Charge it twice as much.
And then twice of nothing is going to be exponentially more expensive. I can tell you that.
It's a useless reboot.
That's right.
That's all it is.
And the best part is that we'll switch sides.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how they'll know it's different.
Yeah, and we'll do the same topics but in reverse.
Okay, all right. So Blade Runner, seminal classic Blade Runner from 1982.
Chris, want to hear something funny?
Hold on a second. 1982. Put that in perspective. That's the same age as Kenneth and I.
Yes. This came out the year we were born.
Yep.
And we're discussing it on a Camcast in the year it takes place.
Nope, actually it took place in 2017. Nope, 2017.
2019.
Nope, 2017.
I watched the final cut and it said 2019.
All right, fine. Whatever.
Unless Ridley just changed the date.
Unless I'm referencing another cut. But anyway, okay, so 2019 is the exact same year it came out. No, that's right, because it was 20 years later that the other
So made me feel bad, man.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right, man.
All right, thanks. I was all proud of that.
And I was all
stupid point I was trying to make.
Is it stupid?
No.
Because it was a point that
you felt strongly about. It excited me.
If you felt strongly about it, it's not stupid.
It's just strange, though, because I was watching. It's like, 2019. I was moved from 1982.
Right. What? So, right out of the gates, I'm going to tell you right now, I have almost universally list of loves for this movie. Ooh. There is maybe one. There's one for sure, but maybe two things that I didn't really like, and that was it.
It's how hot Rutger Hauer was. It was hard to pay attention.
Actually, you know what's funny?
He's so sexy with that bleached hair.
No, you know what it was is that he's definitely got that 30s tough guy body.
Mm-hmm.
And he's had that his entire life. And I remember just thinking, I wouldn't say it was sexy, because it wasn't like he was doing anything sexy. Although it was kind of weird that he decided for the final battle to take all his clothes off.
Yeah. Ripped his clothes off.
And there was no indication at all.
Started slamming his head through walls.
That's what he was going to do. It was just, 1 second you're like, okay, all right. Then the next you're like, why the fuck is he not wearing any clothes? I mean, thank Christ he's wearing underwear. But
I get it.
All right.
He's dying. If you're going to die, go naked like you came into the world.
So, starting off, I love the cinematography. I love the way this movie was shot.
Yeah.
I love the neo-noir setting.
It looks insane.
I love that you can still see, even to this day, how influential...
Breathtaking cinematography by Jordan Cronenweth.
There you go. How influential this cinematic view of the future is. Because you see it in a lot of movies. Yeah, a lot of them are Philip K. Dick, inspired by Philip K. Dick's works, like Total Recall. But Total Recall, the remake, you can see is way more influenced by Blade Runner than Total Recall.
Big time.
There's elements of it in...
Yeah, well, the remake took place on Earth, too, right? They didn't even go to Mars in that one.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I really like...
Well, the remake is also closer to the book, too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the book never really took place on Mars?
If I remember correctly... and also keep in mind, a lot of my stuff is cited by Wikipedia, so...
Yeah. No, that's always correct.
Yeah, that's right.
Because that's the guy who said Ant-Man wasn't the first superhero.
Yeah, that's right.
The wiki says it isn't. Okay.
Yeah. Although in retrospect, you know how dumb that is? I walked up with Wikipedia and was like, look at this shit right here! And they're like, yeah, okay, buddy. Alright. But, anyway, so... But yeah, just the influence of it.
Yeah.
Plus, it goes back to what we were talking about a couple camcasts ago, where 80s and early 90s sci-fi was just batshit crazy. If I were to say, if a movie was made like this now, it would be like Blade Runner 2049 to some degree, but I don't know. I almost feel like if it wasn't for Blade Runner being made in the 80s, we would never have got Blade Runner 2049. I don't even think we would have gotten a movie like Battle Angel Alita which I still haven't seen yet.
I think they were trying to get a sequel to Blade Runner off the ground forever. I think the success of Disney's Tron Legacy pushed Warner to finally go ahead with Blade Runner.
But I guess my point is that the way that people are not, I don't think people are movie corporations aren't looking for those creative movies anymore. Mm-hmm. They're actually just looking for movies that are guaranteed hits.
Yep.
You could never have guaranteed that this movie would have been a huge hit. And even you look at the reviews at the time, it was actually not a critical hit or a commercial hit because people were like, well, it's slow. There's not a lot of action in it.
Reviews weren't great. It bombed. It was not a hit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
the fact that, but it became such a cult classic over the years.
I guess that's the point I'm making is where they were like, we feel really strongly about this. We got a great director. We got great writers. We got great actors. So we're gonna put this out there, and if it makes money, great. If it doesn't, well, fuck. Yeah. Whereas now they're like, hold on a second. Does it have this? No. Does it have this? No. Does it have this? No. Okay, sorry, we can't.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe you could release it in the indie channels. Maybe. But even these days, I'm looking at a lot of indie movies, and I'm going like, there's a corporation behind the indie movies now too. Or I'm going like, I almost feel like they're going like they've got the indie movie checklist, and they're just like, well, does it have Aubrey Plaza? No. Okay. Does it have Chris Pine in a beard? No. Okay.
Yeah.
Does it have a weirdo sort of sexual storyline between an older guy and a younger girl, kind of like Lost in Translation? No. Maybe you shouldn't ever release this movie ever.
Yeah. Straight to Kickstarter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because even Netflix is just like, I don't know.
Netflix releases some weird shit though. They're putting movies on there where it's more so now because I feel like
they're getting to be their own brand.
I think Netflix's future is going to be more indie based, just because all these Disney and NBC and shit are taking all this stuff back.
True. Yeah, that's true.
So now I think they're like, well, they're not going to do these kind of movies, so let's make this our own thing.
That's true. That's also promising.
Yeah.
And Amazon Prime, I think, is another.
Amazon Prime's friggin' good
because their TV shows.
They got some really good originals on there.
Their TV shows are on another level.
Shout out to Good Omens, one of the best shows I've ever watched.
Which I have yet to see. But then again, I still have not even watched Stranger Things Season 3. Oh, man.
That was good.
I'm plowing through Daredevil again, and I haven't even watched Season 3 of Stranger Things. It's like, what are you doing, Chris?
Yeah. I mean, it's not going anywhere.
I think that's part of the reason why I'm like, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it'll be there when you're ready.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's what it is. I want the hype to die down so that when I watch it, I won't be encumbered by other people's opinions of it.
Yeah. So this came out in 82.
Yep.
And in 82, Ridley Scott was hot because of Alien.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford was hot because of Star Wars.
Yep.
I'm sure Warner thought this was a surefire hit.
I guarantee you they thought it was a slam dunk.
Yeah.
Okay? I think it was literally like Ridley Scott showed up and they were just like, okay, hold on. Who's your star? We're thinking Harrison Ford. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you need?
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
Because they pitched money to it. Because this movie...
They went like this. They went like, just let us know.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It looks so good. This movie's as old as us, and it looks that good.
Exactly. Like, that's what I was getting at. Like, the only thing I was really going to say that kind of ages it is just the clothing.
The clothing and the technology.
The clothing...
The big tube computers.
The clothing and the technology, but I think I even, like, when I rewatched this, I literally just rewatched this. Mm-hmm. And like I said in previous Camcast, that I couldn't remember the last time I watched it all the way through, right? But even now, like, I look at it and I go, considering the way the story is, this level of technology makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was the final cut that we watched.
Yeah, we definitely just watched...
Out of 5 friggin' cuts available.
7, actually.
7?
I looked at the list, and there's 7.
7?
But it's... Yeah, the 2 of them, it's just like, one of those where it's just slightly different. Like, I
read that 2 of them, the international cut and one other one, they have, like, happy endings.
Yeah.
Where there's, like, images of happy, like, wilderness and shit in the credits or something.
Yes, and so the first time I ever watched this, that was the ending I got.
Is it? Okay.
That was the ending I got.
I've seen the director's cut and the final.
Okay.
I never watched the theatrical, because, I mean, I never grew up with Blade Runner, so it's one of those movies I watched years later.
Yeah, I think I was, like I said, 12 or 13. It was just one of those, like, you hear about it. It was right up there with Lost in New York, or Escape from New York, where those are like these two big sci-fi movies that people are like cult classics. Like, you gotta watch these movies. You know what I mean?
And I didn't watch Escape until I got into John Carpenter big time with Halloween. And
I didn't watch Escape until I watched Escape from L.A.
You know what? I think I watched L.A. first, too.
Yeah.
That was a mistake.
And it actually pushed back me watching Escape from New York, because I was like, how is this a cult classic? Like, I mean, Snake Plissken was great. Like, Kurt Russell was awesome, and like the beginning sequence was really cool. Stacy Keach.
Yep.
And even the end sequence where he plunges the world into darkness. Spoilers. But everything in between.
That's what it was. I watched it because Hideo Kojima based all the Snake off of him. So I was like, oh, okay, I gotta watch this.
Oh, see, no, I watched it because it was just one of those where, like, I think, honestly, what it was I went, was it Escape from L.A. that I was supposed to watch that was supposed to be a cult classic, or was it Escape from New York? And I grabbed the movie, watched it, and then I was like, it's definitely Escape from New York. But now I don't even want to watch it.
This is so bad.
Because I even remember watching Escape from New York, and it was just on, right? And I was just like, this is really like a darkly lit movie. Like, I don't know, and I don't really feel like watching a campy, like a super campy movie. So, you know what? I'm good. So I have yet to watch that. But it's funny with John Carpenter, I was looking at it, and I don't think, aside from Escape from New York, I don't think there's a movie I haven't seen.
Of his?
Yeah.
You've seen all his movies? You seen Prince of Darkness?
Wait, hold on. Prince of Darkness.
Prince of Darkness.
Which one's that one?
Takes place in a church. Alice Cooper's in it.
No, I did not.
Friggin' amazing.
Okay, alright.
Friggin' amazing.
No, wait, it was, who was it? James Cameron, actually. I went through the list of James Cameron movies.
His are easy to get through.
And I've actually watched all. I watched every single one of them. That's right. Yeah. That's right. Anyway, so getting back to this, I love the premise. I love the premise that they're at a point in the society where they can make replicants, and they use it for off-world colonization.
Yeah.
You know, they're basically just like, okay, we made these things that they can do the stuff that we can't, and we shouldn't have to anyway because we're humans. Mm-hmm. So ship them off-world and do that, made by the Tyrell Corporation.
I like how they have how they expire in like 4 years, too.
Yeah, like they have a shelf life. I thought that was really kind of neat, where they're just kind of like, yeah, that way we can just...
So this group comes back and you're like, no, we're not ready to die.
Oh, it's the other part that I thought was really interesting, real quick, where was it? When they offhandedly mention that they started making replicants with false memories. You know what I mean? Like, so basically replicants, in some cases replicants go rogue, right? Because they're just like, well, hold on. They realize, okay, well, we can do more than just what we're born to do. Mm-hmm. So they go rogue, and the Blade Runners are a special police force, essentially, that are tasked with hunting them down and retiring them, which is a nice way of saying killing them. Yep. But I guess the idea is because they're not really alive, they're just retiring them anyway. They're saying, you know what, you don't have to work anymore. So, which I thought was kind of interesting in terms of the terminology, too. Although they don't explain why they're called Blade Runners. No. I looked for that, and I couldn't find anything that stated why
they weren't called Blade Runners in the book either. They were called, what were they called? There's something simple like sheriffs or something.
Something to that.
And they changed it for the movie, just like replicants. They weren't replicants, they were androids.
That's right, yeah, because the book is called, like, Do Androids Dream When They Sleep?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so, but I thought, the fact that they're called replicants I thought was really cool.
That's cool, but yeah, no, Blade Runner would have been nice to have, like, a reason behind it.
Yeah, like,
they don't have knives, and they never run.
No blades, no nothing. Well, there's a bit of running.
A little bit.
Especially in Blade Runner, like, 2049, they're strolling along through that whole movie. Mm-hmm. We'll get to the destination when we get there, okay, guys? But yeah, like, the bit of lore that you get I thought was really, really cool. But I even like how you've got, like, Harrison Ford's Deckard character. He's not necessarily a good guy, but he's not necessarily a bad guy either. Like, he's just kind of like, just doing a job, and, you know, that's kind of it. Yeah. Although it's interesting, in some cuts he's married, in other cuts he's got an ex-wife. In the book he's definitely married, he's 100% married, but Let's see. I love the interrogation scene of Rachel.
Great scene. Great scene.
I mean, like the initial interrogation
Rachel
scene.
thing.
Initial interrogation scene with the one dude, seminal character actor, which I can't remember his name.
Who?
That balding guy with the mustache.
Oh, Edward James Olmos?
Yes.
As Gaff?
Yes.
He was creepy as fuck in this movie.
Oh my god.
Like, he's eerily creepy.
Like, he was so creepy that I was just like, how do you not know he's a replicant?
Yeah.
Like, it's like he doesn't even know how to act as a human being.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're scared the shit out of me.
Like, what was it they asked about his mom, and all of a sudden he was just like, my mom's great. Got like really weird, and I was like, that's clearly a replicant. I don't need a 3-hour interrogation to know you're a replicant. Of course, obviously, like, he kills the guy and gets free.
Yep.
I like that Deckard is tasked with killing the others before anyone else finds out. I thought that was really cool. Like, they don't want anyone finding out that the Nexus 6, the top brand replicants, got off-world and is now free, which I thought was really cool. The interrogation scene is also where we find out that Tyrell goes, because it took longer than ever, but by the end of it, Deckard realizes that Rachel is a replicant. But it was harder because she doesn't know she's a replicant. She believes that she's a real human being.
Yeah.
And Tyrell just, like, very proudly goes, yeah, well, you know, we put in false memories because it makes it easier to get them to do stuff. And you're just like, you really don't think, like, for him, he's proud of his work, but they're still just things. They're just toys, essentially. And I was just like, oof, Jesus. And you can actually start to see a little bit of the contempt come out of Deckard, where even though he's against replicants or androids or whatever you want to call them, and he's, you know, just doing his job. He's forced into doing this, which I thought was interesting too, where he was just fine being like a regular cop. And they're like, no, you're back. You got a fucking choice. But like, even he's immediately kind of starting to go like, oh, jeez, man. And I mean, like, this is Sean Young in her prime, you know?
Yeah, and I don't remember seeing Sean Young in much. I remember watching this and going, hey, it's Finkel.
Yeah. Or Einhorn. You know? But, yeah, but like, I think she was always one of those ones where she was meant for bigger things, but I think, just life happened, and it just didn't pan out.
Yeah.
Because I remember the whole Catwoman thing, and I don't want to go into too much detail about that, just because I feel like that's just one of those, like, if you don't know, it's best not to. But it's just one of those, like, jeez, you know?
Yeah.
Although it's funny that you mentioned Ace Ventura. Ace Ventura, that's an example of a movie that wouldn't be made now. If they did, that part would be changed drastically. Like, you wouldn't have an entire group of men vomiting because they all made out with Finkel Einhorn. You know what I mean? They'd probably all just be like, you know what, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with that. I'm fine with my sexuality and his or hers or whatever the terminology she wants to be called. Yeah, I don't even care. I gotta call my wife. But anyway.
100%. Never be made today.
Oh, God, no. They would definitely change that.
Also, why we'll never see a third, because you can't.
Yeah, no, you can't.
And same with Austin Powers. That wouldn't be made. So sexist.
Sexist. They would say it's sexist, it's racist, it's homophobic. You know what I mean? And it's like, can't we just laugh?
I know. No, you can't.
No, you can't laugh at anything.
You can't laugh anymore at all.
For anything at all.
No.
Where am I at? Oh, I love the line that his memories will be lost in time like tears in the rain.
Oh, man, I got that here, too. That same line. Like, when he said that, I rewound it and watched it again.
Exactly.
I was like, that is some beautiful dialogue.
That is some absolutely.
And then he goes, time to die, and just dies.
That's it. After he saves Deckard.
I'm pulling Kevin Smith and tearing up a little, because I was just like...
Like, Deckard's dead. Deckard's dead, and he's just like, nah, you're not going to die. I am. Yeah. I was like, wow, this is incredible. Yeah.
Oh, man. Such a good line.
This is one of the things I don't like, though. I'm not a fan of the borderline rapey love scene that happens with Deckard and Rachel.
Was it really rapey?
It was borderline. Like, I was a little cringy where he's like, say you love me.
Oh, yeah. Well, yes. That was a little strange.
And he's, like, forcing himself on her, and she's just like, no. Okay. But, I mean, like, I understand it's a product of the times, because that's very prevalent in a lot of those older movies where, like, they do this whole will they or won't they type of thing, and they have it so that, like, I don't know where they got this idea. Like, I think it's just a man writing a woman type of thing, where they go like, no, of course she's going to be like her own woman, and she's going to be against the man, but eventually his very masculine will and sexual desire breaks her down, and then she realizes that she actually does love him, and she wants to let him do all the things he wanted to do to her. You know what I mean? But it was the second he went like, say you love me, say that you want me to kiss you. I was like, what the fuck is this code words that you know now? Now she's your sex slave, like, you know. That part.
Okay, yeah, no.
But I said, it's a product.
They got 2019 very wrong in that movie.
Yeah, no kidding.
Please say you love me.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you don't? But that's totally fine that you don't. I'll still do whatever you want. Hashtag whatever works. I love the concept of the powerful corporations running the world with a very strong police presence, because 30 years ago, they were talking about how that's the future, and it very much so is. Like, believe it or not, there's just really 4 or 5 corporations running the world.
Yeah, I love that Philip K. Dick and the writers of the movie here, like, they looked into the future, and they went, well, no, we're going down this dark road here.
Yeah.
Like, not like Back to the Future Part 2, where he jumps ahead, and that was 2017.
That's right. That was 2017. But yeah, you're right. And it's
all
like,
bright and happy.
Hey, everything's great.
Oh,
man, poverty doesn't exist. Yay. It's amazing. Now you're just like, I feel like when I watched this, I couldn't help it. When I watched this movie, I remember I was literally like, oh, I get it. So it's like, I guarantee you, like, this, like, Earth is the poor planet. Because they're colonizing other planets. So you're going to see, like, you went to, like, Mars, let's say. Mars is colonized. That's probably going to look amazing. Yeah. Like, what was it? Elysium?
Yeah.
Elysium, where they had the perfect, all the rich, perfect people were up top.
On that, like,
the space station.
That moon-looking thing?
Yeah, the space station. And then, like, on Earth, it was all everybody that...
Oh, I gotta watch that movie again.
No, don't. It's not that good.
No, I liked it.
I like the premise more than the actual movie.
I'm a Neil Blomkamp fan.
Oh, yeah, I'm not. Fuck you. I am too. And I love Matt Damon.
Chappie was disappointing.
I haven't even watched it because I heard it was so disappointing.
It's disappointing.
And that's why. And never mind, it's got Wicked Rap Stars Ninja in it.
Oh, yes. Yeah, him and Yolandi, whatever fuck her name is. Yeah, no, they're in there.
Yeah.
Don't know why. As Neil Blomkamp's from South Africa, they're huge in South Africa. They're from South Africa, and they're buddies.
Well, to be fair to those two, they're fucked up, but they're actually pretty catchy.
Yeah, they're pretty catchy. Oh, Hugh Jackman has a pretty sweet mullet in the movie.
That's right.
It's a little flat, plus short bangs.
Yeah, that's right.
He looks gross.
Yeah, I thought that was really topical, but you're right. Like, Philip K. Dick is definitely one of those writers who definitely knew where the world was going to go. Yeah. You know, it's almost like if he were alive to see it today, he'd be like, I am not so much a writer as a fortune teller.
And he had a short life, too. He was only 58 when he died, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing that he was able to see that.
I will say this, though. I am, like, in the same boat as Harrison Ford and Philip K. Dick, where I don't feel that Deckard is a replicant.
I don't think he is. Even though in the final cut, I noticed his eyes flickered once.
Yeah, but I actually read an interview with Harrison Ford where that apparently was like a reflection off of Sean Young's eyes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
so that was just one of those, like, happy accident type of things.
Okay.
Because he said he felt like, and I'm watching the movie too, and same with the Philip K. Dick, they liked the idea that he was the only human in the entire movie. He's surrounded by all these replicants.
Yeah.
And he's the only human. And I was like, not only that, it makes more sense and it adds more stakes to it because, like he's getting his ass handed to him by these replicants.
Oh, God, yeah.
You know what I mean? Now Jared Schaaf that, did these movies or suggested we do these movies, right? He argued that the amount of beating that he took for a normal human, he should have been dead. So he's of the mind that he's a replicant and he just doesn't know it. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, you know what? It's open to interpretation because you can argue the unicorn thing all the way through.
Until 2049 when he was a human.
Right, until you get to 2049, but...
that answers it once and for all.
Yeah, but still.
2049 is written by one of the writers of this.
Oh, I know.
Which is amazing.
That is
You look at his IMDb, he's done, like, nothing really between Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049.
But, one thing that I was really impressed by was, like, I've never really... Harrison Ford's always, like, a tall actor.
Yep.
But I never really looked at him like, he's a fucking tank, right? That shirtless scene, he looked cut in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, holy shit.
Oh, he's in his prime in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure they were telling him to be semi-fit for the Star Wars movies.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, like...
Plus, yeah, he did what? Raiders 2 years after this? 84? Is that Raiders?
Yeah, something like that. 82, 83, 82... No, 83, 84, something like that.
Yeah, he went right into India after this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But, I can't say enough good things about this movie. I absolutely love this movie. It is still one of the best sci-fi films of all time. It is a movie that I'm going to be rewatching more often, though. I got to the end of this movie and I was like, I should have rewatched this plenty more times. It's right up there with one of my favorite movies now. But that's me, and I have great choice in movies.
No, see, Blade Runner never clicked with me the first time I watched it.
Okay.
The director's cut.
Yeah.
It's very slow paced. It's a slower movie. In a lot of regards, I thought it was somewhat like Fight Club, where the first time I watched it, I was not in the mood, like the right mind frame for that movie.
I can see
and
that.
I ended up not really caring for it.
Yeah, I can see
but
that.
But then I gave it another shot. So I went back and watched this week.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've watched it 2.5 times. I watched it half on TV once.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah. Now I'm in 2. I'm 2 full times watching this movie.
I respect it and appreciate it so much more because I was more in the mind frame this time.
Okay. That makes sense.
It's still slower. Like Adrian started with me, and then she's like, "I gotta go to bed. It's too slow for me." And I get it.
Yeah, but like for me personally, though, because
usually like movies that take place in the future, they're very action packed and like in your face. And
I'm glad that it wasn't, though.
Me too.
You know, like I'm
Me
really
too.
glad
It's its own thing. Like it's more of a crime mystery that just happens to take place.
That's what I'm saying. Like I love that it's a neo-noir type movie.
Yeah.
It's basically like your 1930s like whodunit.
Exactly.
Or not even whodunit. It's just you got to get from point A to point B, and that's it. Because you got your femme fatale, you've got the gumshoe type character, who's like literally back against the wall, all these forces against him type of thing, and it just so happens to be set like in the future.
Yeah.
30 years in the future. So this is what they thought it would look like.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, man, this is just great. Like I loved everything.
I couldn't get over how great it looks.
Oh yeah. The only thing aside from the rapey scene, the only part that I thought was kind of funny was the see-through jacket. I remember just being like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But okay, all right.
They didn't really quite understand what the fashion was going to be like.
Yeah.
It was cool seeing a young Daryl Hannah. She was great as Pris in this, and her fight with Harrison was great. That was a great,
so good.
A great starting fight to the big main event.
What I liked about Priv too, Daryl Hannah, was when she's interacting with what's his face, the guy with that degenerative disease.
Oh yeah.
Sebastian.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was the other thing too. I liked how everyone was looking for Sebastian, and then finding Sebastian, he ends up finding the replicants and everything like that. But what I liked was that Priv knew exactly what she was doing the entire way through. So when she was with Sebastian, she was acting almost like she was flirty and really being almost human.
Yeah.
But there was a couple scenes where he would look away and she would just go into her real face, and it was like a replicant again. And I was like, oh fuck, this is crazy cool. And even when she spray paints her face, I was like, this is fuck.
Yeah, very crusty eyes.
Yeah, and then when oh man, Rutger Hauer, what was his name again?
His character name? It was Roy.
Yes.
Roy Batty.
Roy. When Roy shows up, and they're doing the same thing where they're just kind of acting a little bit more human around him, but then they're being more true to themselves when he's not around type of thing. But I even liked the scene where they go and kill Tyrell.
Yeah.
And it was weird because I kissed him.
That was a
I was
great
like, whoa,
scene.
he kissed him. He's super proud. He's like, oh man. He's like, yeah, but I've done some things. He's like, you're great. This is awesome, but I can't give you any more life. It's literally impossible. There's nothing I can do at all. And then it's like that weird kissing, which threw me for a loop because I forgot all about that. And then he kills him. I was like, "Whoa, this is fucked up."
Kills him. Ugh.
Yeah.
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 Just the cracking of the skull.
Oh, just like horrible and all that. Like, and they're gushing out too. I was like, "Oh, this is fucking gross."
Yeah.
That was just like it was all these like pockets of just.
Yeah, like the way the replicants played in this, I wouldn't be surprised if Schwarzenegger watched this before playing the Terminator and borrowed some of his characteristics because there's definitely similarities. Because Terminator was 84, like right after this. So
actually, the similarities would just be in the sense that because like in Terminator, he's literally just a robot.
Yeah, no emotion
with human skin.
Blank.
Like that's it, and it's all he's doing is literally just using the skin to blend in because the programming is from like the future, right? So it's just like you just show up and people look at you like you're human. It's in the second one where I think he's gotten a little bit. I don't know if he's influenced by those movies because in the second one he's actually acting a little bit more human.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I love that line where he goes, "I know now why you cry." I was like, "Oh, god damn you! Don't make me cry." But yeah, I don't think he was influenced by that for the Terminator so much.
No.
I will say that Kurt Russell was probably influenced for Soldier.
Well, it's a spin-off of this. Literally, this movie was written by Hampton Fancher and David Webb. Hampton Fancher went on to do 2049. David Webb did Soldier as a spin-off.
No, Soldier wasn't a spin-off.
He considers Soldier a spin-off sequel of Blade Runner.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Kurt Russell's a replicant.
Okay, all right. I just remember Soldier being like what Terminator should have been if James Cameron didn't rip off Soldier and Philip K. Dick's work, like blatantly.
Yeah.
It's so blatant that now I think James Cameron said, "Yeah, I ripped it off." But I mean, if you watch both movies, which one's better?
Yeah.
And the answer is Terminator. Terminator's better, top to bottom.
Way better.
Top to bottom, Terminator is a better movie than Soldier. Soldier was horrible. Horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, I gotta watch. Yeah. Well, I watched it when it came out in '98. I want to rewatch it.
I want to rewatch it, but
Kurt Russell had a stretch of bad movies there.
Yeah.
Between that and Escape and what else do I got? Fantastic synth score by Ben Yellis.
Oh yeah.
The soundtrack's awesome.
It's because of 80s movies and like video games and stuff. I've been starting to get into like synthwave music lately.
Me too.
Because I'm just like
I've always kind of been into it.
I've always been into it because I grew up in that time.
Yeah, and
so all
Ridley
this stuff,
Scott loved his synth music because Legend is all synth too. And,
yeah, so like I mean, it's for me. It's one of those where like I grew up with it. So yeah, like you don't think about it until you start going like you're actually looking for the music, and then you're like, oh yeah, no, I actually really like this shit because like I remember when I watched the opening for Stranger Things season 1.
Yeah,
and it immediately did that. I was like, oh yeah, fucking right.
And it's so good. I'm happy people are starting to appreciate it as a score because not everything has to be big and orchestrated. It can be smaller.
Right. But I think a lot of that has to do with the 30, 40-year-old people that grew up playing video games with 8-bits and stuff like that, where they're just like, yeah, because like I mean, I even listened to 8-bit remakes of music. You know, like 8-bit. I can't remember what they're called, but they did System of a Down.
Oh yeah.
In 8-bit.
I want to hear that. It's
actually really good. It's really good.
Let's see.
But I don't have anything else to say about Blade Runner. I absolutely love it.
No.
I think it's a great movie. I can't wait to rewatch it again. But I think out of all the movies, I'm gonna like all the versions. I'm only gonna stick to the final cut.
I'm tempted to watch the international one. I don't know. What is it? It's international, final, directors, theatrical.
I think there's a TV cut too.
TV cut, television cut. So what would the other be?
Well, because the TV cut for I think it was language and nudity.
Yeah.
Because there's brief nudity.
Instead of fucking it, father or something. You mother father.
Yeah. They don't say Mr. Falcon in that one.
No, Mr. Falcon.
It's just a Die Hard thing.
Yeah. No, I think I'm good. Rest in peace, Rutger Hauer.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just passed away.
I know. That's crazy.
That's crazy. So that was Blade Runner.
Blade Runner, ladies and gentlemen.
That was the bottom layer of our sandwich.
Or the top layer, depending on where you place Blade Runner 2049.
Either way, we're about to get to the filling.
Yeah, which is Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre. What a strange camcast.
So I watched that this afternoon.
I can't believe you've never watched it all the way through before.
I actually can't believe it either. When we were talking about it, and I remember thinking to myself, I was like, that seems so weird that I didn't. I can't remember why, because I remember watching, starting it.
Yeah.
And I getting through it. Shout out to Troy Gentile, who was from Goldberg's fame.
Yeah!
Blew my fucking mind. I saw that on the credits, and I went, wait a minute. And then I seen him.
I did the same thing.
Oh my god, you're Joe Taylor.
Yeah.
I forgot all about him because he lost a shit ton of weight.
He was so chunky.
He was chubs.
I rewound back. I'm like, Adrian, look, it's Barry.
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, that was funny.
That whole opening. That whole opening is just...
The whole opening, just
absurdly hilarious.
It's grabbing shit.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, and he makes his Kate nacho. I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is so great. And then, works out for 2 minutes, and then he's dead. And then the monks are like, come here, you. They hose him off, and they beat him with stuff. And I was like, this is just so funny.
Nacho Libre. I love this movie.
I actually love this movie, too.
This is probably my second favorite after School of Rock for Jack Black movies.
Yeah, I would
not including King Kong, because I love King Kong, but
yeah, but
his comedies, his comedy,
yeah, School of Rock.
Actually, you know what? Every time he does something with Mike White, it's fucking incredible.
Yeah, it's really hard to.
They did Orange County too.
I was just gonna say because Orange County I really liked too. I mean, not that I would say that's a Jack Black movie per se, because it's more of Colin Hanks.
It's Colin Hanks, yeah.
But he was definitely hilarious in that one.
Oh yeah, so good, so good.
I enjoyed this a lot better than what was the one with Ben Stiller?
Oh yeah, that was incredibly disappointing.
Yeah, it was.
What was that called?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Either way,
I don't remember.
I
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Jack Black's great though. But this movie is just—it's so Jack Black. It's hilarious.
It's so Jack Black, and it's well, Jared and Joshua Hess did this.
Yeah.
Mike White co-wrote with them. Yeah. These guys just came off of Napoleon Dynamite. Yeah. So this is such a strange combo. It's like Napoleon with just Jack Black in there.
I know.
It's both of their styles.
It's so great though. It's a perfect mix because like Jack Black does a really good job of being the over-the-top sort of Jack Black type character. Yeah. But it's hilarious how well it works in that cringy sort of bumblecore movie.
Yeah.
That Napoleon Dynamite and that whole type of movies are when I say mumblecore, people that are familiar with that will go, yeah, he knows what he's talking about, But it's it's straight up that sort of super awkward, cringy movie where you're
yeah, Wes Anderson does it well.
Yeah,
Most
he
of
does.
His movies, yeah.
Oh my god, the Royal Tenenbaums.
Oh, Royal Tenenbaums, Life Aquatic.
Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
So
The Adventures of Mr. Fox.
Yeah.
Oh,
so good. I still haven't watched Isle of the Dog, so.
No, me neither. I'm
gonna, because Mr.
I'm definitely
Fox was
going
awesome.
to.
Yeah.
Because I also just like all of Wes Anderson's movies, though.
Yeah, I didn't like the.
Oh, hold on. No, I haven't seen.
Like the train one they did though.
I didn't see the Darjeeling Limited.
That one.
I haven't seen that one, and I also
that disappointed me.
Budapest.
Budapest was all right.
I didn't see the Budapest.
Budapest. I don't know. To me, it's still Royal Tenenbaums.
You know what it is? It's what it is that I know I have to be in the certain type of mood to watch those movies.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and because I was man, the Royal Tenenbaums, it's so great that it's hard. And Steve Zissou, I remember it's yeah, but because there's that other one too with Ed Norton.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Moonrise Kingdom.
Yeah, and I haven't watched that one either.
That was good.
That's right. And I remember thinking to myself yeah, I'll watch that. But I was the Fox one, The Adventures of Mr. Fox. I remember just literally being it was one of those where it was coming on, and I went, yeah, all right,
let's do it.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm glad I did, because this is great.
It's just
so great.
It's fun. It's just fun. I don't know. It's weird.
It's absurdist,
awkward
escapist movies.
That's exactly what it is.
You're literally just it's going to be. If you know what you're in for and you're in the mood for it, you're going to love it.
Yeah, literally after this, I was like, what has Jared Hess done since Nacho? and he's done like 4 movies that I've not watched. And I was like, well, that's going to change. One of them is called Gentleman Broncos. So
watched it. I've actually watched it.
Is that where James got his name from?
That's exactly where he got his name from.
How have I not seen that? I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it.
I have to warn you though, it's out there. It's an absurdist. Sam Rockwell's in it for one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I really enjoyed it, but I have not watched it since. Whereas like Napoleon Dynamite, I'll rewatch that movie.
Napoleon and Nacho I can watch whenever.
Yeah, me too, actually. Anyway, so actually one of the first things I said was Ignacio is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And followed by Classic Jack Black.
Classic Jack Black.
And immediately
that weird smile he does with the mustache.
All the fucking smiles in this movie are retarded.
I can't even do it.
What's his face? The technique partner, he's like this the whole time.
Is the Escalado?
Yes.
Escalado.
Escalado.
I know. Frankie, my buddy Frankie from High Def Ninja wanted us to do Nacho, so he could probably help me out with the pronunciation of some of the names here.
My favorite
he's
smile
awesome.
at the end, though, is when, so like after Nacho Libre wins and gets the money for the, and he's got that weird like he's just totally smiling at the nun that he's like literally like,
he loves the
we
nun.
ever get a chance to break our vows,
She's
we'll
a gorgeous nun.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Cool.
But, like, I was like, I can't get over that smile. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
But,
oh, yeah.
like, fuck the eating toast scene. Would you like to come to my room to eat some toast?
Join me in my quarters this evening for toast.
Yeah. And then it's like, he's eating toast, like, chomp, 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 and she's just like...
Like, this is really dry.
I was like, this is fucking hilarious.
After he, like, pushes it under the dirty floor, just under the door.
Pushes the plate through.
And the toast.
Pushes one toast through. And then the second toast. I was like, what is happening? This is so funny. And then they just sit there eating toast face to face like retards. This is so... I was like, oh my god, I can't get over this. And, like, movies like this, these are movies where, like, I typically will watch without Michelle.
Yeah.
Because, like, I feel for her. Because she will, like, look at these movies and go, what the fuck is wrong with my husband? Because, like, I don't get it.
Adrian watched this movie. She was in tears during that toast scene. Like, she was crying, laughing so hard. I was like, it's so stupid. How do you not enjoy this?
Exactly.
It makes no sense. It doesn't
serve
the story at all.
Don't get me wrong. My wife loves funny movies, but she likes certain types of funny movies.
Oh, yeah. No, this is a different level of comedy completely than your usual.
And I've said this, like, I'll say stuff like, well, did you like Napoleon Dynamite? And if the response is, I kind of liked it, and I'm like, well, then don't watch this movie. Yeah. Because you'll maybe kind of...
That's it right there.
You know?
You like Napoleon, then I recommend these movies.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't? I take these back.
I take them back. I'll put them in this corner.
Do not watch.
Unless for whatever reason you decide you want to get adventurous, but I'm warning you.
Yeah.
They're out there. But yeah, so like, I even, like, just the concept of him wrestling to get money for better ingredients to make better food for the monastery or the orphanage. It's just hysterical.
The first time they lose and they get the money and he goes on that shopping spree and he's handing out like these fancy salads and goes to chip all over the nun. Like, followed by the smile. Like,
exactly.
Oh man, it's so good, so funny.
It's just so great. He freaking climbs the mountain to eat the egg.
The eagle egg.
The eagle egg. And then it's like that match that night. He's like, power of the eagle, and they lose.
I mean, he gets destroyed.
They just get fucking hammered. It's just the most.
I'm not feeling the power of the eagle. Oh man.
Oh my god, the Spider-Man music during the suit up, the first time he suits up with his official Nachos costume is great. But I even love the one, like, their first fight that they lose, and like he rips his shirt after they call him Nacho, they're cheering, and like they lose, and they're in he's taking a shit.
Yeah, just ripping the shit.
He's taking his shit, and then he gets out, and he's like he doesn't He's so, like, absurdly confident.
You remember that moment when they were chanting our name, and I gained the power to rip my blouse?
He keeps saying blouse. And he's just like this, belly out. He's like, remember that time?
And he's got that number one fan in the crowd. The guy with the weird... Oh, he lost again.
It's just so ridiculous.
Totally Happy Gilmore moment with that one weirdo
Oh,
fan
my God.
Oh.
Sometimes you have to wear stretchy pants in your room just for fun.
Chancho. When you were a man. That Chancho kid was adorable, too.
Oh, my God, the Chancho kid was adorable. Just great. Yeah. I like the parallels between Nacho and, what's his name? El Corrado? Escalito. And how, like, it's religion versus science, just like his parents. Yeah. It's like, that's so great. That's so great. And then he ends up believing at the end. He's like, we should pray for you. Although I will say, as far as wrestling names go, Ramses is a bitch in wrestling names.
Ramses, yeah.
I was like, whoa, wow, that's awesome. Also, I don't know if you know this, because I looked at the credits, Ramses was played by WCW Cruiserweight Silver King.
Yep.
Yay! Give it up for Silver King! He might not be alive.
He passed away this year.
He did? Okay, alright. Well,
there's a running theme with our movies here. Someone died this year.
Yeah. Well, shit.
Shit indeed.
But I actually said that. I was like, oh my God, it's Silver King. And Michelle was just like, oh, is that an actual wrestler? I was like, yeah, actually, every one of the guys in quotation marks are wrestlers, you know. But,
I think he was actually in one of the WCW Nitro games in the 64, wasn't he?
I think he was.
Silver King?
I think he was. I just remember because, like, I was a big fan of the Cruiserweight division, so I was familiar with all of them.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of him, per se, you know, but still, I was...
Freaking awesome.
Again, like I said, like, like, the character was great.
Yeah.
I actually love this scene where it's just like, Ramses is number one. Ramses' legs are number one. They're oiling him up. Or Ramses. They keep saying Ramses. I was just like, oh my God, this is so fucking funny. I love great.
The part where Jack Black breaks into the song. I'm singing a song at the party. Ramses is at the party.
Ramses doesn't dance at the party.
Ramses is getting all pissed off.
He's just like, fuck you.
What are you singing?
I love the part where he lights his robe on fire.
Yeah.
From the waist down, so that they all go like, okay, it's true. I am Nacho. Nacho!
Just a long, extended...
You might have seen me on TV. Like,
everyone's like...
No?
No. Yeah.
Well, I will win.
He leaves, he's like, I'm going to go die in the wilderness or whatever. And Escalado finds him, he's like, how'd you find me? I can see him from the village. It's like right there.
Hey, Nacho!
Oh, beat after beat, this movie just makes me laugh and cry.
But again, like I said, like, if you don't know what you're in for, then you might go, what the fuck? Like, this is dumb. Yeah. It is.
I mean, you should have an idea with Jack Black, though. Like, when he's doing, like, goofy Jack Black style.
I enjoyed I was like, man,
this is probably actually his goofiest movie
ever. Tropic Thunder. Well, no, because his character was fucked.
Yeah.
So yeah, no.
That's so good.
Jumanji?
Yeah. Yeah, Jumanji's
Jumanji would be his goofiest because of the premise, because of the character. But man, I was like, man, why didn't we get a sequel?
Right.
You know, but I know why we didn't get a sequel because it wasn't a blockbuster smash.
It made money though. I looked like it made like double its budget back. And it's the same with School of Rock. Made way much. Like, yeah,
but see, School of Rock is one of those ones where if they did a sequel, it would have tarnished that movie. Because the way the premise is it's a one and done movie.
Yeah.
Like, unless you do the same characters in a completely different movie, but then the whole time you'll be like, oh, so he's in another School of Rock? Oh, and they win another town? Oh, this time it's the, global?
I don't know. I always thought it would be cool to see those kids return as, like, adults that are a band together or something.
Now we're starting to get into, like, Fuller House territory.
Yeah, I guess.
You know?
I didn't watch that.
I did. I watched, I think, 2 seasons and a bit of the third, and then I was like, I'm good.
Wow.
I was a huge fan of Full House, though.
I was, too, but I wasn't watching that.
Yeah, I think I might have finished all of the third season. That's right. I think I definitely finished all of the third season. Yeah. It became one of those things where I'm like, you know what? I'll keep watching it. By the end of the third, I was like, I can't.
The uncles are in the first episode.
They
like
come
Bob
in.
Saget and
they all pop in from time to time.
So they're in time for time throughout the show?
There are some episodes where they're all together.
Okay.
Although now, because of Lori Loughlin and that whole fiasco, she's not in the 5th and final season at all.
Yeah, I think it's when she died.
I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. I also don't care.
I don't care. You know, I mean, hey, Mary Kay and Ashley aren't there. So.
Yeah. I don't know. It was...
But yeah, no, Nacho, I would like to see a Nacho sequel.
I would have loved... I think even now, I think it'd be great to see a Nacho Libre sequel. Especially with Jack Black with his fucking old man look he's got.
You know what? I think AEW should do something like they call up Nacho to the big leagues.
That would actually be great.
That would be amazing.
That would be great.
Yeah.
You know, because I like the way that they imply at the ending where he's going to continue wrestling to continue.
Yeah.
Because he's the top dog now.
Well, he is.
So maybe now we do a sequel where he's knocked off his high horse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe, you know, towards the end of his run there, he was getting to be like Ramses, where he's being the dick that he never wanted to be, right? He forgot, he lost his way, right? I don't know, we'll see. I would love to see a sequel, though, because I think I was like half an hour in, and I was like, I want to see a sequel. Like, I want to see more of this already. It's just...
I love it so much. It's so good. This was a great suggestion.
It was such a great suggestion.
The music in this is by Danny Elfman, which I found incredibly weird.
That is really weird.
Really weird. Though that Mr. Loco that does Religious Man makes up most of the soundtrack. Because that's a great theme.
It's a great theme.
Oh, man. This movie is like beginning to end perfect to me.
Yeah. I'm actually glad that they don't hook up at the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
that'd be kind of weird since she is a nun.
Well, both of them would have to break their vow, right?
Yeah.
Because he said in that letter, the hilarious letter, where he's like, "You might think that I have died, but I have not."
Hug kiss, kiss, little kiss, big hug.
Big kiss,
little
big kiss, little kiss, big hug.
It's
so stupid. Like, oh, shit. Every single thing he says in this movie is just ridiculous.
Yeah. That's it for Nacho.
Oh, yeah. That's it for Nacho.
Fantastic film.
So
Love
great.
that movie.
So great.
And now we turn and go back to the dissolute future of Blade Runner
2049.
2049.
Okay, so I'm going to say this for right out of the gates. I literally was like, there's no way I'm going to get through this movie. There's no way, because the last time I watched this movie, I was like, holy crap. Like, I've said before in our Camcast, this is like a beautifully shot but boring movie. Mm-hmm. I will say, though, I am glad that I rewatched Blade Runner and then watched this immediately after that.
It helped. Big time.
Because, like, yeah, this is a slow-paced movie, but the other one was slow-paced too. This had more action in it.
It has way more action.
But I will say this, though. In all honesty, I looked at it and I was like, yeah, it's such a long movie. It's a long movie, but I'm like, I don't know what I would cut, though. I can't think of really... And even, like, Ridley Scott had said, like, yeah, it was, like, about... It's a longer movie than it should be, because this also underperformed, and it wasn't a bomb, but it was...
It made its money back. No, it lost $80 million.
That's right. It was a bomb. It didn't...
Europe pulled it out of the... Yeah.
Because it had to do, like, $400 million to break even.
Yeah, they had a huge budget on it, which is clear as day when you look at it, because straight up, this is probably one of the most gorgeous movies I've seen in my life. My life. It
is hands down one of the like most
every
beautiful
bit of scenery
shot movies I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm like, I'm trying to think.
So good looking.
I don't know if there's going to be a movie in the next like 5 to 10 years that will top how beautiful this movie is.
Denis Villeneuve directed this one, and he was coming right off of Arrival, which was my favorite movie of
I can't wait to do
That's my
Camcast
favorite
for
movie of 2006.
I cannot wait to do like an oddball sci-fi flick movie, or a Camcast or whatever.
Arrival's a masterpiece.
I love Arrival so much.
Yeah,
much. Man, I love Arrival. But anyway, but yeah, like I was saying, like I'm trying to think like what would I cut.
I mean,
but every single part of this movie is actually vital to the story. Mm-hmm. You know. But we'll get into this. I love that right out of the gates we meet Kay, and he is a replicant Blade Runner.
Yes.
No, is he or isn't he? No, bullshit.
Straight up is.
He's a full-on replicant.
Yeah.
I also like that he's leading the story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, just on a regular job, he meets Snapper.
Yeah, how about that opening sequence?
We'll get to that in just a second, but I like that he meets Snapper, and then in the investigation around Snapper, he's going, wait a minute, what's going on here? And they find that box, but that whole opening sequence is just incredible. Like,
Dave Bautista is in the first 10 minutes, and then that's it.
Yeah.
But that whole sequence, and you know what? That whole sequence was me alone going, Bautista can act.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's done Spectre and Guardians.
I'm not... Okay, when they talked about Spectre, they were like, oh, man, like, Dave Bautista's Spectre. And I was like, yeah, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
He doesn't fucking say a word.
He's a muscle man.
And he's just a henchman.
Yeah.
And they do that one thing where they show... and we'll get into the Daniel Craig Bonds after...
what's the name of it?
Never Die Twice or something like that?
Yeah, it's got a very Bondy name.
Well, it's better than Shatterhand.
Oh.
It's a lot better than Shatterhand.
I was like, oh god, don't.
And I was like, Shatterhand, okay. What? Nope. But okay, well, we'll see. But I think it's Never Die Twice or something like that. Yeah. But anyway, they do that whole thing where he's got those like weird silver thumbnails.
Yeah.
Kills the guy with his eyes, and then that's it. You never see that shit again. He doesn't say anything. Fight scene's awesome, but we'll save that for more. But like, so when they're saying like, "Oh yeah, he's acting," I'm like, no, he's acting more as excuse me,
Drax.
He's acting more as Drax than he is in most of these movies. But this here, I was like, oh boy,
this here, and it's the reason why Dennis Villeneuve is bringing Bautista over to Dune because he's remaking Dune. Yeah, he's the only guy that he took from this movie.
Like, maybe Dune will be the one that's way more beautifully shot than this one.
I think it will be. It's also a 2-part movie, though. So
good.
Here's hoping part 1's successful.
Good.
So
I read that book, actually.
Dune?
Yeah.
It's wacky, too. Villeneuve likes some wacky stories.
Well, Dune in general, like it's one of those like classic sci-fi type movies. Books, I should say. And then I tried watching a bit of the David Lynch Dune, but I couldn't.
I couldn't get into it.
I tried.
I tried to watch it in the theater, actually. Because they had their flashback.
Oh yeah,
week.
Okay.
So it was a double feature. I watched Gremlins, and then Dune was playing right after that. So I was like, I've never seen Dune. I'll go check it on the big screen. I left, man.
Yeah, because they even did like that Dune
I was
TV
falling
show.
Asleep.
That Dune TV show that was supposed to be closer to the book, and I was like, I couldn't even get into that one either. But
I'm not a Lynch fan though. Like Lynch's stuff is just too weird.
I think that's kind of what it is too. Like, because I never even got into Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
And that's like Lynch.
Yeah, Lost Highway. You can do Lost Highway.
Actually, I watched, was it Blue Velvet? I watched Blue Velvet.
Blue Velvet?
And Blue Velvet was like, I think I was 13 or 14. It was same thing. It was on like late at night. It was one of those like I was up and I was like, oh, okay, I'll check it out. It was like Dennis Hopper. And it was just like, this is some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
I don't even remember anything about that movie, to tell you the truth.
No.
I just remember finishing it and then being like, okay, nope.
Let's erase that from the memory bank.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. So getting back to Blade Runner 2049, so that whole actual opening sequence with Snapper was really cool.
Yeah.
But I liked how like Kay was basically just kind of like if we could do this the easy way, great. Like that is awesome. I'm all for it. And, and I'm sorry it had to be me type of thing. So they hinted at a previous relationship. I thought that was really neat. And then you get the sense of the Snapper's like, I'm not going in. I'm not going in. Yeah. And like even when he's just like, it's almost like kids today type of thing. Like, you new replicants.
Yeah.
You don't even see wonders, and you're just like, oh, okay, all right. You find out why, and he says that later.
Yep.
Like, specifically when you find out that they find Rachel's body, and there's indications that she had a child, which I was like, whoa! So then when Kay's superior officer, Joshi is like, okay, so here's the deal. You can't tell anybody. You keep this to yourself, and now you gotta hunt every sort of aspect of this. Find the kid, kill the kid, and make sure nobody finds out about this, because this will fuck everything up. Which is true, because, I mean, the whole point of the replicants is that they're not human.
Yeah.
And that they're supposed to just have a shelf life.
Yeah,
and they're only
don't have kids.
Supposed to just do the things that we want them to do, and that's it. Once you find out that replicants can have children, now you start thinking, well, maybe they're more alive than we thought. Maybe this is something beyond. Okay? So, when they start obviously saying, no, we want to live like humans and be treated like humans, they're getting less and less of a reason for them to say, no, you can't, because you're not. There's nothing human about you.
Yeah.
Once you can have kids, it's like, well, hold on a second, because that's one of the definitions, one of the defining traits of a human being, right? Doesn't matter how we came to be, but the end result is we can have kids. So, and yes, I do have to agree. I like that in this movie they establish that Deckard is, in fact, a human being.
Yeah. I also like that they didn't rush to have Deckard in it.
No!
He doesn't show up till the final 49, 50 minutes of the movie.
And that's it. Like, it's like a build for it. So, when I watched this the first time, I remember distinctly being like, okay, we finally see him.
Yeah.
Whereas this time around, I was like, oh, yeah, fucking right. It's like, now we're getting to it, you know? Especially because the whole part, up until this point, like, we start finding out, like, because Kay's thinking that it's him. He's thinking that he's the child.
Exactly, because he's got those implanted memories.
The implanted memories, plus he's looking through the records, and he finds out that at that point, like, there was a boy and a girl, so he's just like, oh, it was me. Before I forget, I love the relationship he has with Joy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought that was actually, it was one of those where I was like, that is super cute, that a replicant.
She calls him Joe.
Yeah, a replicant is in love with a hologram.
Yeah.
A hollow assistant, I guess you could say. But even just that cool part where he's eating the fucking slop, and she superimposes, like, this beautiful meal that she made for him.
Yeah.
I was like, this is cute. This is super cute.
All of it was cute. When she gets Mackenzie Davis to show up, and then...
Yeah.
That was a cool scene, though, how she's mimicking the body, just the way that was shot.
That was crazy cool.
That had to be hard to do.
Yeah, really. And also, I like I love it when he gives her, like, a tangible body, and he's like, you can do whatever you want. What's the first thing you want to do? Yeah. She goes out in the rain.
Yeah.
And it's this beautifully shot scene where, like, it's interspersed with parts where she's, like, holographic, but then it's, like, full form. I was like, this is
and
just
then it starts
incredible.
to eventually bounce off her. And
yeah. I was like, man, this is just genius. So that I thought was a really...
It was a great love story, actually.
Yeah, like a really great love story. Not the best endings to that love story.
It was a tragic end.
Very tragic.
Though it led to probably the most beautiful shot in the whole movie.
Yeah, but like it's getting harder to quantify.
When Joy's face is that blue-haired giant hologram, and then she comes down and looking like he's standing there on the bridge and looking at her.
Yeah.
Then they do that side shot. I was just, oh my god, because the cinematography in this is just as gorgeous as the first one.
Oh man, I actually would say that it is better.
I think it's better.
It's better.
It's
like Blade Runner is amazing because it's showing you something you've never seen before, and for the time period, and even for the budget that they had, they were able to make something that still stands up. Shoulders to something with a multi-million-dollar budget with the state-of-the-art special effects. So it should just annihilate Blade Runner, and it doesn't. Blade Runner, like I said, is shoulder to shoulder. This just edges it out because, like, I gotta say, that extra 42 minutes of movie it allows for these expansive shots that are just so gorgeous.
It allows to really flesh out the side characters.
Exactly, and so Blade Runner is a really tight movie because it's really just a singular story.
Yeah.
With a couple of not plots, but threads coming together towards the end. Because the whole thing is to find Sebastian. So the remaining replicants that Deckard hasn't found are trying to find Sebastian while he's trying to find Sebastian. Then when they find Sebastian, then that's it, you know? Whereas now we've got this plot with Kay and Joy. You've got Kay and tracking down the replicant child. Yep. Just the fact that there is a replicant child.
Yep.
Then the replicant refugees, or insurgents.
Yep.
Then you've got meeting the replicant child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so there's way more plot to this movie.
You got the whole Jared Leto.
The
Wallace, all the Wallace stuff. There's a lot more plot, but unfortunately, it also leaves some threads open when it ends.
Right.
It doesn't tie everything up with a bow like the first movie does.
Yeah, but I think that's partly because of the machine of movies today.
Yeah.
Where they don't like to do almost like a clear-cut ending. They want to have like 3 or 4 or 8 plot threads left open because their mind is always franchise. Where this is at least a trilogy.
Oh yeah, if this would have been big, guarantee we would have had another one.
Yeah, exactly.
Though it ties up Kay's story. So I mean,
Kay's story
there's some threads open.
I feel
but it's. Kay.
I also feel like Deckard's story is tied up too.
Yeah, I mean it could. It could go other places.
It could, but I don't see the point really.
Yeah.
You know, like for me personally, I'm not like I want to see more of that relationship because really, then it's just them catching up and you know. But it's like
that was a really beautiful ending though. And just looking at and they're looking at it through the glass of each other.
Yeah.
It's just like
I was like, this is the perfect way to end it.
And actually, when it cut to the credits, I was like. Even though I complained before about how long it was, I was like, I could have used another couple more minutes of that.
I actually was fine with that. Like
I was fine with it, but it was such a beautiful moment. I wanted just a little bit more.
Yeah, okay, but like, I mean, that's where we're gonna have to agree to disagree, just because like I was just like, you know, that was the perfect way to end it. Niagara Wallace, horribly creepy.
Horribly creepy.
Like almost disturbingly creepy. We're just like, oh god, buddy.
Leto was actually really good.
Yeah, but it's Jared Leto.
He's good at playing creepy, though.
Jared Leto is like one of those actors. Like he might be one of those guys where people say he's an underrated actor. I don't feel that he is an underrated actor. I feel like the people that watch him and stuff will know he's actually a great actor. It's just he's purposely not a huge actor. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you watch him in Suicide Squad, Dallas Buyers Club, this movie, and you're all like, it's 3 distinctly different characters that you're just like, holy shit, man. Wow, you know, but he's I think one of those guys where for him it's about the role, the experience. It's not about the money.
Yeah.
So that's why, like.
Yeah. Plus, he's got his whole side gig with 30 Seconds of Mars. So I mean, like, he's not someone that depends only on acting.
He's an artist.
He's an artist.
So it's just him just doing whatever he wants to do, type of thing.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like, I don't feel like he's dependent upon it. Let's see. I used to say that this movie was beautifully boring. I now have changed it to it's arrestingly beautifully shot.
Yeah, you know what? I did not find this boring at all this time.
And I was just about to say, like, the story is way more engaging this time around.
But that's what happens when you watch them back to back, I think. Because I watched 2049 like 10 years after I watched Blade Runner. So all the stuff coming off of that movie, I didn't get. So I was watching a movie that I really didn't understand because I didn't remember a lot of Blade Runner. Like, I knew Deckard was from the first. Didn't really remember his importance. The Rachel cameo in this is massive.
Yeah, that's true. Because when I watched it the first time around, I was like, oh, right, because she was in the first movie. And, okay, so she's the mother of the replicant child. Okay, all right. Whereas in this one, very much so I was like...
I forgot she shows up.
Same here.
So when she walked in... And he's having that moment with her, and he turns around, like, her eyes were green.
Exactly. And then you're like, holy fuck!
Apparently that one shot took a whole year to do.
Wow. Because the actress had to learn how to be Sean Young, first and foremost.
Yeah.
And, like, Sean Young 30 years ago. And then on top of that, the superimposing that had to be done to make it look as perfect as it did.
And Sean Young was on set that whole time.
She got credited for it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, all right. But, like...
So good. So good. The highlight for this movie for me, acting-wise, is that Sylvia Hoeks as Love.
Yeah, she was great.
Holy Christ, she was amazing.
I liked...
She was amazing.
She was so good. I also really liked the Joy character as well.
She was, yeah.
Those were two of the standouts for me.
Because two women, as far as I know, I've never seen them in anything before. I just filmed them, put them in here.
Gotta say, I think Ryan Gosling is an absolutely phenomenal actor. Mm-hmm. This is just another one of those movies where he's sleepwalking through. Like, I know he's a replicant, so it's not like he's...
Yeah, I didn't feel like he was sleepwalking, but I felt like he was definitely outshone by, like, the other actors around him.
But I guess that's partly because, he's a replicant, right? But, it's like, it reminded me of Drive, where everyone's like, oh, Drive is so great, he's such a great actor. And I was like, he didn't really act in Drive. You know what I mean? Like, he was just kind of, like, almost mute, so to speak. And that's another reason why I haven't saw that, what's that one, Behind the Pines, or whatever, that other Bruce Efren, or whatever. That
was it's a good movie, but it's a strange movie.
Yeah.
I won't say anything to spoil it.
No, it's one of those where I'll get around to, because I do think he's an amazing actor.
It does not play out the way you're expecting. I love Drive. Drive's one of my favorite movies.
Drive is amazing. I absolutely love Drive.
Because he's great in it. But the atmosphere.
Everything about that movie.
The atmosphere is the star of that movie.
The movie is so good that when I saw trailers for Baby Driver, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to watch it just yet because I feel like it's too similar.
Yeah. Drive, I watched in the theater, I smiled the whole movie.
Drive is amazing. Even though, like I said, I feel like I don't want to say he sleepwalks, because then it kind of ties him into, like, Bruce Willis. And it's, like, the last 20 years of movies, right?
Bruce Willis is a sleepwalker, for sure.
It almost feels like Bruce Willis hates being in movies.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you're Bruce Willis.
Why do I gotta be a star?
Yeah, don't do movies then.
Bruno career take off.
Yeah, don't do movies then. Seriously.
I can see him retiring pretty soon. I think he's getting to that point where...
I don't think so.
Like, John Travolta should retire.
Yeah, John Travolta should retire.
Because his movies are not good anymore.
I don't even want to...
I feel bad because I like John Travolta.
I've never had a problem with John Travolta. I you know what I think it is, though? I think part of it is that John Travolta almost forgets, or he thinks he's still a big celebrity, for one. Two, I think he feels like he's a better actor than he is, because he's not a great actor.
No.
I don't look at his work and go, yeah, you know what, you're the greatest actor of all time. I just look at it like, you've done some good movies. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I would say...
Well, I mean, Pulp Fiction is probably...
What is it, Phenomenon?
Oh, Phenomenon, yeah.
Phenomenon and Michael...
Yeah.
Are two of the movies where I would say, okay, see, this is a pretty good showcase of you as an actor. This right here, okay? But I don't feel like he's any better, or he's gotten any better than that.
No.
I think that was kind of like the pinnacle, so to speak. Because, I don't think Pulp Fiction is him really acting so much.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel... I might get a lot of flack for this one. I don't feel too many actors in Tarantino movies do too much acting.
Yeah, you'll get flack for that one.
Reservoir Dogs, I would say, is definitely an acting movie. But most of his movies are just kind of like Inglourious Bastards, Django, from that point beyond. No, Kill Bill. Kill Bill definitely was acting. There's acting in Kill Bill.
Hateful Eight.
Sorry?
Hateful Eight.
I haven't even watched that yet, so I'm not even going to reference that one.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's incredible.
I'm going to actually have to rephrase that. It comes down to the fact that John Travolta isn't a huge celebrity.
Yeah, let's go back to Travolta, yeah.
Yeah, let's just attack him completely.
Yeah. He needs to learn Nicolas Cage's way of thinking, where it's like, I'm not big anymore and I don't give a fuck. I'm just having fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Stop trying to do big, huge blockbuster movies. Mm-hmm. Just do, this thing with Fred Durst as the director, The Fan or whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah. That movie looks weird.
I don't even want to watch it.
Yeah.
I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to show everybody that he can act his ass off. I guarantee you, if they market it more like the Nick Cage thing, where it's just just fucking John Travolta, and I gotta do whatever the fuck I want, and I don't give a fuck, because I'm running on Scientology dollars. I don't care. You like it? Great. If you don't, also great. Look at me. I look like a fucking weirdo in this movie. My socks are up to my knees. And I'm in a movie directed by Fred Durst, who just directed videos.
Yeah. Yeah, very strange. Very, very strange.
But anyway, so...
But back to 2049.
Yeah, back to 2049.
I don't even know how we got there.
I also like that the replicant baby is the one that starts doing the replicant templates.
Yeah. And
that's why a lot of them have her memories.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that is crazy cool. Nice little link. Because, you know, like, they start tying in the toy.
Mm-hmm.
You know
the
what I mean?
little wooden horse thing.
Yeah, the wooden horse, and I was just like... What I liked about that, like, what I like is that when they do callbacks to Blade Runner, they feel reverential. They don't feel like, see what we did there? It feels like it's taking from that movie and expanding upon it with their own story. And I definitely feel like because of the way it's ended with Kay dying.
Yeah, he died, right? Yeah, there's no way he was living.
Yeah, like, I mean, okay, we didn't actually see him die, so you could argue, and he's a replicant, so you could argue.
He could, but I kind of felt like...
he's a replicant, so he'd die anyway.
I felt like he was like, my mission's complete, I've gone to his daughter.
That's right. And then, so you have that storyline's done.
Yeah.
You have, Deckard meeting his daughter, and then, so
Great
I feel
moment.
like you could touch upon that in the next Blade Runner movie, but you didn't have to.
No.
So it's really just the Wallace... and the replicant uprising.
Yeah, those two little things there, which, I mean, they could really wrap up in any form of... They could do a video game, they could do a comic book.
They could do it in any sort of media, and...
I would actually really dig a video game.
I actually would really dig a video game, too.
Get the guys that made the SX to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Hells yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hells yes.
What else? I can tell you right now, I will definitely be rewatching it, but it is going to be... when I'm rewatching Blade Runner, that I'll be rewatching this movie. I definitely, like I said, I'm super glad that I rewatched both of them, because I appreciate this movie so much more now, because... Me too, like... It's just... I actually feel bad that for the longest time I was saying that it's the most beautifully shot, boring movie. Like, that was pretty much verbatim what I was saying all the time, whereas now I'm just like...
It's not boring. You have to be in the right mood for these movies.
That's exactly it. Like
if you're watching them at 11 o'clock at night when you're on the verge of already falling asleep, you're not going to make it.
There's no point even starting it at that. Start it at 9 when you're still like, that's what I watch a movie,
Or in the case of this movie, 8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or whatever.
Give yourself the 3 hours.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like, man, it's such a good movie.
Yes, Cinematography, beautiful. The score in this is friggin' incredible.
Oh,
Hans Zimmer, and this guy I've never heard of before, but man, Hans Zimmer is such an incredible...
He is so great.
Like you listen to this and Batman and Dark Phoenix, like you can't even tell it's the same composer half the time.
I'm so glad that he and Christopher Nolan got together.
Yeah,
because then I was able to hear this guy do scores, and now I'm like Hans Zimmer. Like, I was looking at his shit on Spotify. Yeah. So that when I'm driving to work, I'm listening to his stuff.
I listen to shit all the time.
Because he's incredible.
But I've been a fan of his since Gladiator Mission Impossible 2. He did those 2 scores.
I always forget that.
That one summer, he did both those scores, and those are my favorite scores of the year.
Those are great scores. Great
like, whether you like Mission Impossible 2 or not, the music is so good.
I actually really don't like Mission Impossible 2.
He loves it. He's a secret.
Even knowing that Haley Atwell is going to be in Mission Impossible 7 and 8, and I haven't even seen Mission Impossible 7 and 8, I can tell you that even though my Mission Impossible favorites list will probably be restructured, Mission Impossible 2, I guarantee you, will still be at the bottom of the fucking list.
You know what? 7 and 8 are going to be masterpieces to top follow.
I agree. But again,
it's so good.
But you've got Christopher McQuarrie.
Yep.
You've got Tom Cruise.
It's huge that he's coming back again too.
But not only is it's huge that he's coming back again, but he's coming back for 2 more fucking movies.
Yeah.
And everyone that lived from the previous, like from Fallout, is coming back for the next 2 movies.
Yeah, I think Renner's coming back, right? He only took a break for Avengers. I think he's.
I haven't heard anything about Renner. I have not heard anything about Renner.
I have a feeling he'll be back.
But I hope so.
Yeah.
But again, it's tough because I feel like for all the flack that the previous movies got for not really being the IMF team, you know what I mean? Like, especially because when you get to Ghost Protocol, and I feel like in Ghost Protocol, they're like, yeah, okay, let's start getting him into a team, right? Because then you watch Rogue Nations, and it's literally like everyone's reacting to the insanity that is Ethan Hunt, but by the end of the movie, he's realizing, I need this team. I need these people. So when you get to Fallout, and it's a team, and they're all working as a team, and they're all like trusting each other to do these things. Like, I mean, hell, even the end sequence where they're about to disable the bomb, and they're like, I don't even know if he's got the trigger.
Yeah.
I don't even know, but okay, let's just do it. And then, they're all just kind of trusting each other. So at the end, when, she's on the team, like Elsa and everyone else, like Luther, obviously, and
Simon Pegg.
Shit.
What the hell's his character name in that movie? JP! Benji, there it is.
Benji, that's right?
JP.
And now we have Haley Atwell. We don't know what Haley Atwell is going to do, but Haley Atwell might be the new Alec Baldwin.
She could be the villain for all we know.
But that's the other thing, too. She could be the villain.
Yeah.
She could be the new Alec Baldwin. Renner could be the new Alec Baldwin.
Yep.
Maybe that's where his role will be, is he's the new Alec Baldwin.
I can see that.
The Hunley.
Yep, I can see that.
But I'm super pumped for those 2 movies.
Oh, me too.
Like, it's hilarious, too, because, like, if you would have said 20 years ago, you would have said, hey, Chris, I know you like James Bond. I know you like Jason Bourne. I know. But you're going to think Ethan Hunt is the best out of all of them. I would have been like, Kenneth, you crazy. You crazy mother trucker.
You nuts,
You crazy
man.
Mr. Falcon. Because
nuts.
there's no way that I would do that, okay? Because, look, I love James Bond, and Daniel Craig's James Bond is the best Bond ever. But Jason Bourne is the greatest of all time. You said, no, what's going to happen is Spectre's going to come out, and it's not going to be as good as you want it to be, because it's going to be a giant step backwards from the brilliance that is Skyfall, and the new world building and characterization in Skyfall. And I said, but just Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne.
And then you would have said, but he's going to come out with a movie called Jason Bourne, which is weird in the first place, and it's going to make you think differently about what they were thinking of in this movie. And then Rogue Nations is going to come out and do what Spectre did, but a million times better. Then Fallout is going to come out and make you go, wait a minute, hold on. This is the best spy franchise, period. And I would have been like, no, we already covered this. You crazy Mr.
Never
Falcon.
going to happen.
But now I'm like, no. Now I'm literally looking at it like, so the new Bond movie has to take the good things that Spectre did, because there is some good stuff in there.
That's good stuff.
But it's got to basically, like Skyfall Spectre, Rogue Nations Fallout, it's like a 1-2 punch where you're just like, but Rogue Nations did that whole underground group of assassins thing that Spectre was trying to do infinitely better. You had a crazy story about the aging agent. Done infinitely better. There were parts that were actually funny, None of it felt forced.
Nope.
And it was gorgeously shot.
It's freaking amazing.
Then you get Fallout, and it's one of the best action movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
Same.
Now Bond has to do better than, like, James Bond, Never Die Twice, or whatever it's called now, has to be as good as Fallout. And I don't think it can do it.
I really don't think it can. I mean, I don't even know if the next Mission Possible could be as good as Fallout, because Fallout is at this friggin' insane level.
Well, like, it's so good that people are, like, making jokes about how it's got to be in space.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
You could do, like...
Where do you go?
Yeah. But I get what McQuarrie was saying. It's got to be, like they say about space, but it's really got to be, like, where can he jump from?
Yeah. What kind of crazy stunt can you do next?
So I don't know. But you're right. Like, Fallout could be, like, too good for anyone else to follow, right? Which is fine. But I'm just saying, like, it's got to be as good. If it's at least as good as Rogue Nation's or Rogue Nation, then I'll be happy.
I think it will be because it's the same team. But
No. I'm sorry. I'm talking about Bond.
Oh.
If Bond is as good as Rogue Nation,
I hope so.
Then I'll be happy.
I hope it is.
Because there are stuff in Spectre that I really, really like, but then there's stuff in Spectre that I'm like, why would you do that?
I don't understand where Spectre went. Like, if Sam Mendes is directing again,
we're gonna stop because I mean we have to save this.
We're going way to Bond and
we gotta wait.
Stuff,
we gotta stop. So hey, happy 50th Camcast, Kenneth.
That is the 2004 number done, eh?
I don't really have anything else.
Yeah, I got nothing else. Oh, the only other the fonts were too tiny in the movie. That's my only.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
Like I was like this half the time. Like, what the fuck's that say?
Yeah, no, I agree.
I know it was for style or something, but hey, if that's the worst thing I can find,
yeah,
you're not doing too bad.
That's right.
You're not doing too bad. No, 2004 now I love, and I'll definitely revisit it now for sure.
Oh, 100%.
That was a great Camcast, Chris.
That was an absolutely
great
50th Camcast.
That was a fun one, and I hope everything recorded good because I don't want to redo that.
Well, put your headphones on real quick. Real quick. If you can hear me, then you know you're good. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Hey, look at that.
So if the camera stopped, then at least you're going to still get a podcast.
That's right. You'll at least get something on the old SoundCloud.
Yeah.
But in any event, it's, like I said, SoundCloud, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Apple Music.
Podcast.
Apple Podcasts. Oh, why did they change it?
Man, the artist formerly known as iTunes.
that was good.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, we'll go there. That's Camcast 50. Thank you so much, everyone, for all 76 of you.
All 76 of you, thank you so much for being here for the 50th. And thank you in advance for being here for the 100th and the 1,000,000th.
The 100th. We're going to make something special for the 100th. But we got to be at least 24 followers higher then so we can give away some shit. I want to give away stuff. Chris.
I just want it to be easier to find on YouTube.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to start being like, give it away now.
I was going to go, I was saying,
why would you stop, though? I would have said, that's too late now. It's too late now.
Why you got to do that? I might have still done it.
You would not have.
You ruined it.
Already chickened out. You chickened out. No, I did not. I called you on your bullshit.
I got nothing.
That's right. Although, before I forget, that's an absolutely sweet shirt.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely sweet shirt.
I am finding some sweet shirts at Walmart of all places lately.
I went through a stretch where some of the shirts I was buying was from Walmart because like they're
awesome and they're $12.
Yeah.
Compared to buying like a specialty shirt from the comic store for $30.
At least 30.
At least 30. Like,
although I gotta say those $30 shirts though,
they're usually really fucking cool.
The level of the quality of the shirt too.
Oh yeah.
Like that's
this is
you'll wear through that in a year.
Yeah.
Like it'll start here and then you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah. But it'll be a tank top in no time. Muscle shirt. All right, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you next time.
These pancakes are delicious.